It's funny. I learn something every day, and and I have fun doing this stuff, this blogging and this Wordle stuff. I mean, it's kind of given me a purpose and a way to express myself and a reason to express myself, and so all that's good. I start talking, and I get cheered up, even though I initiated this little post, which I probably won't publish because I woke up kind of very disturbed this morning, very preoccupied or concerned. And I've been listening to Thich Nhat Hanh. I'm going to look it up so I can say it over and over and get it correct. But this Vietnamese Buddhist philosopher, he's very, very good, and kind of repeats the same things over and over again. Meditation is the key to life, or a good life, or a restful life. Being here now. This is not new anymore, but still, he makes a lot of good points. And the one that he was talking about, I got this book dealing with fear, and that's what I'm dealing with, fear. And I can tell myself over and over again, don't pre-invent the future. Don't reinvent the past. Don't pre-invent the future. I can tell myself that. I hear myself. I hear the rationality of that. But you find your brain drifts into that anyway because I'm worried. And he talks about that, the original fear and traveling down the birth passage and being born into this world and how rude and abrupt that is and scary it is for that baby, for that organism to be thrust into this brand new world after living in, his mom's womb and being cared for on all levels. Well, I never thought of that. I just never thought of that. Birth trauma and how terrifying that must be. And there's no words that a baby can use to formulate it into words. It's all a very visceral, emotional experience. And yet each baby, every one of us, has gone through this. And so each one of us is born with this original fear. And he's saying that we never really get rid of it. It manifests itself in different ways and different levels through the rest of our life. And this fear of trauma, this fear of loss, this fear of loneliness or being alone or being uncared for is something that, that we deal with. And I mean, he's got a very good point. It's a very interesting way to view it. Why are we so interdependent and yet, sadly, so damn hostile towards each other? And why this duplicity and why this angst between us? And, I don't know. I don't know. That's the thing about it. My life, truly, even today, is still pretty perfect. This weekend I went to Bob's birthday party, and it was very nice. We had fewer people than usual. I pre-invented the future a little bit concerning who might be there or what we might talk about or whatever. And, of course, it didn't turn out that way. It was all very great. And I did video Diane saying her blessing. And I ended up videoing everybody giving their opinions on things. So I probably will delete that. It's just too long. But with Diane, that was my goal to video her, and it came out very well. And I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it. And to be honest, I would love to get a little more praise, a little more recognition for the work I put into it. So yeah, there is a selfish side. And one of the things that Thich, I'll just call him Thich, or Thich Nhat, suggests is that we do something nice for someone and literally without any thought of getting anything in return. And I mean, he's got a very, very good point because, and I think I saw this on another YouTube, you cannot you can't go into, helping other people or giving to other people when, when you're looking for some sort of a feedback, some sort of a recognition, because that does, you know, that does telegraph, and it's not the most generous thing to do or to be or the way to be. So I do enjoy doing what I'm doing. I get, a degree of pleasure out of that. I do love the feedback, and with the YouTube, you get so many views, and that gives a feedback. But anyway, I am getting a lot of satisfaction out of doing it. This is what I do. I've invented this little role for myself to do these blogs and do these blog posts and make these videos, and I get a certain enjoyment out of it. And then another friend that I have that I'm communicating with, she's expressing some truly painful experiences in her life. And, I watched this movie, I'll just call it Gabby. And gosh, here's a girl, a beautiful person. And I think that's the thing. I think I have enough maturity now to see beyond just the sheer physical beauty of a girl, to see there's a real person in there. And this girl was sweet and kind and funny and very artistic, extremely talented artistically, which I didn't mention in my email. I have to mention that. And her boyfriend killed her. He killed her. What is this? What is this? You think you're operating in a world with certain kind of normal parameters of, okay, so you love each other, you have fights or whatever, you have disagreements, maybe even break up or whatever, but you don't kill somebody. You don't murder somebody, and this is what she endured, and her parents. Now, this is true tragedy in life. I have nothing like that. I saw, these annual pictures come up or whatever. Remember this day, pictures come up from OneDrive, and I like them. I do enjoy seeing those pictures, and I do enjoy going down memory lane. But this one was of Tess. When we were at Bob's a year ago, we were there for the last birthday party, and Tess came with me, and this turned out to be the last thing that Tess and I did together to go out among people. And I'm saying it with a straight face right now. This was, two little pictures I took of her, which she didn't wave me off. And so thank you, God. I have a picture of her sitting there talking to June, and she looks so good and so much herself, so Tess. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thought, or a beautiful picture and memory. They gave us a special spot to park. Bob gave us a little special place to park. Put a sign out the tinsels so that we would get a spot where we wouldn't have to walk too much uphill or whatever. And, it was so thoughtful. And, now that I'm talking, I think I'll send that to Bob and remind him of that, because, those were very thoughtful things. And I am going to follow through with this, because I'm going to test my own theory to see if I can post it to their blog. But I'm also going to say how meaningful these friendships are, because they are. They're all I have left. Little Zeke started, whimpering this morning, I guess I'll call it. And, I get annoyed. What is it? What do you want? What do you want? But then I think, gosh, Zeke is my reason for being here. I mean, I'm going to take care of Zeke because he needs me. And so I have a few years left where I need to do that. I will do that. But what's happening in America, what's happening to us, and the threat, and what's the real threat? Economics. I cannot live with less than what I have. I've cut back my expenses to the bone. And, I made this investment in the battery, and it kicked on the other night. The power went out. But beyond that, I have reduced my bills tremendously. And I do that by staying cold and wearing a jacket. And now that the summer's going to roll around, I guess I'll spend some hot nights, or I'll figure out how to run the air conditioning, in the most economic way. But anyway, I am so thankful and grateful for the blessings I've had in my life. And I'm not just saying that, I really do feel that way. But when I feel anxiety and I'm trying to meditate, I'm trying to, breath in, my breath is coming in, breath out, I'm breathing out. Simplest things to clear my mind. I'm doing that, I'm trying to do that. And like I said in another blog post, meditation is impossible. In many ways, it is impossible, but at least it's some method to try to get my mind off my fears. And the fact that he explained where those fears originate from is kind of helpful. So I'm going to tune off, whatever, turn this off. And, I just have to get it off my chest once in a while. So that's why I'm doing all this. Just kind of get it off my chest and hope for the best. And thank God for what we do have. And turn it off.